You've rehearsed the explanation in your head a dozen times. You know what you'd say. You know how you'd defend yourself. But when the moment comes, you just don't. Not because you're afraid, not because you don't care, but because something deeper tells you silence is more true. It happens in the smallest moments. Someone misunderstands your intention. A friend makes an assumption about why you canceled plans. Your family questions a choice you made. And inside, there's this friction. A part of you wants to correct the record, to be seen properly. But another part, quieter, heavier, just lets it go. You close the message. You nod and say nothing. You let them keep their version of you. And afterward, you wonder, am I avoiding conflict? Am I being passive? Or is this something else entirely? Here's what most people won't tell you. That silence, it's not weakness. It's not avoidance. It's a form of psychological discernment. Your brain is doing something most people never consciously recognize. It's measuring the cost of being understood against the integrity of staying intact. You're not broken. You're just fluent in a language most people don't speak. Let's talk about what's actually happening in your mind. When you feel misunderstood, your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for social reasoning, runs a simulation. It asks, will this person actually hear me? Or will I just be translating myself into a language that still won't fit? This isn't overthinking, it's pattern recognition. You've been in enough conversations to know the difference between dialogue and defense. Psychologist Carl Rogers called this incongruence, the gap between your internal experience and what can be communicated in the social world. When that gap is too wide, your nervous system does something wise. It stops trying to bridge it. Because some truths aren't meant to be explained. They're meant to be held. There's a personality dimension in psychology called need for cognitive closure. Some people need every story tied up, every misunderstanding corrected, every gap filled in. But others, like you, have a high tolerance for ambiguity. You can sit with the discomfort of being misread because you know that your relationship with yourself is more important than their perception of you. This is tied to something called internal locus of identity. It means your sense of self isn't hostage to external validation. You're not performing your inner world for an audience. You're living it, and that is rare. So how do you navigate this without becoming isolated or resentful? Here are 5 principles rooted in psychology. 1. Distinguish between explanation and justification. Explanation is neutral. It's sharing context. Justification is defensive. It's trying to earn the right to your own choices. Ask yourself, am I explaining because it serves connection, or because I'm seeking permission to exist as I am? If it's the latter, silence is self-respect. 2. Recognize relational capacity. Not every relationship has the bandwidth for your full truth, and that's okay. Psychologist Sherry Turkle writes about capacity for complexity. Some people can hold nuance, others need simplicity to feel safe. Your silence isn't rejection, it's allocation. You're directing your depth toward those who can receive it. 3. Use the mirror test. Before you explain, ask, is this person curious about my experience? Or are they defending their interpretation of it? If they're not curious, your words won't land. They'll just ricochet. 4. Practice provisional letting go. You don't have to decide forever. You can choose silence now and leave the door open for later. Say to yourself, "I'm not explaining this right now. That doesn't mean I never will." This removes the pressure. It turns silence into a choice, not a failure. 5. Honor the grief. Because here's the truth most people skip. Choosing silence often comes with sadness. You're grieving the fantasy of being fully understood, and that grief is valid. Neuroscience shows that social rejection and misunderstanding activate the same brain regions as physical pain. It hurts to be unseen. Let yourself feel that. Don't rush past it with spiritual bypassing or stoicism. The sadness is proof you're human. Here's the mental model that ties it all together. Think of your inner world as a vast, quiet forest. Some people visit the edge. They see the first few trees and think they know the whole landscape. You could spend hours giving them a map, but if they're not willing to walk deeper, the map is just paper. Silence is you standing at the center of your forest and trusting that the right people will find their way in. Not because you performed the path, but because they were willing to walk it. You don't owe anyone a translation of your depths, especially if they've already decided what you mean. So the next time you feel that pull, the urge to explain, defend, correct, pause. Ask yourself, is this person listening or just waiting to respond? And if it's the latter, let the silence speak. Because silence isn't empty. It's full of everything you've chosen not to give away. You are not obligated to be understood by everyone. You are only obligated to understand yourself. And sometimes, the most honest thing you can say is nothing at all.